I'm gonna get into drama. It's gonna happen.
He told his parents that I was a high-end escort that he had hired because his significant other wouldn't have sex with him.
See, this is the problem with being honest, is being honest makes you a bad person. I should just fucking be nice. But I'm sorry, I have to watch the Alpha Widow bit. Fine. You know what? Fine, let's watch it. Let's just fucking, let's crack the ice. We'll fucking watch it. I'll judge. I'll try to not go incel mode or whatever. Alright. Hold on. Let's hear the story.
I feel like if you've been cheated on, there is no resolving that. It cannot be resolved. And I found this out because the sociopath that I dated, when I finally was able to pull myself out of brain rot and stop.
Interesting. You know, there's always a pattern of women somehow not knowing they're dating a sociopath. I wonder if maybe he was, you know, pretty attractive, probably more attractive than her, possibly. You know, it's just weird. Women can't seem to tell when someone's a sociopath somehow.
Being with someone who was controlling and mentally abusive. I found it. I was able to get out when he was like, I want to have you as my real girlfriend during the week that I live with and that I have interests in common with and I can have actual conversations with because you have your own thoughts and opinions on things and you're interesting to talk to and also have sex with. But on the weekends, I want to date this other girl because she is more proper to take around my friends and family. He was a very, very rich trust fund kid who his father was known as the billion.
Okay, so the red flags are piling up here. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So this is getting worse, honestly. The more I'm listening. Uh-oh. Yeah, women can tell when someone's an incel, but not when they're abusive. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I feel like I need to watch a rehab room video, dude. Let's keep going.
Millionaire on Wall Street, the billion-dollar man, I think it was specifically, and he, being a trust fund kid, also had a six-figure job that his father nepotism hired him into. So he was.
So why are you dating this guy? I hope you explain that part because it's kind of important, I'd say. You know, it's fine to roast him afterward, but, you know, surely you must have had a good reason to date this trust fund kid who's rich, right? You know, it's a choice that she made.
Very much used to getting absolutely everything he wanted without any pushback. And part of the reason that he wanted to have someone like her on the weekends was because lying to me was too much effort. He showed me his conversations with her where I didn't know he was cheating at this point, but he showed me his conversations with her where she had suspected him of cheating, which obviously he was because I was fucking living with him. And she just took everything he said at face value. Every single lie he told, she believed without question. And he told me that lying to me was too much effort. So that it would be much better if I knew exactly.
Did she say how long she was dating this guy? Because, you know, this seems like something you could probably figure out about a person within 5 minutes of talking to him. You know, if you're emotionally intelligent, I'd say, which, you know, people say women are. Usually people aren't that good at hiding such obvious shit. Game. Oh, yeah, it was the Riz. No, it's called fucking looks, money, status. That's Riz, Zoomers. I hate to kill you with this one. Face, height, money, status. Yeah, this guy's Jewish. The rich guy's Jewish, so it was just the money then. So she dated the guy for the money, and then I'm gonna get into drama. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm hoping the video ends with, you know, her acknowledging her obvious fuck up. Because then, at least, then I could be like, okay, well, she's self-aware, at least, about that, but I don't know. The way she's talking doesn't seem that way. Why would she date a guy when she knows that he doesn't think she's good enough to be official woman moment? Well, that obviously came later. There were dollar signs in her eyes, and the line was crossed when he wanted to do basically an open relationship or polyamory or whatever the fuck. I would never treat you like that, my queen. Yeah, no, you'll never catch me saying that in my entire fucking life. I mean, you found a game, not the guy had game. Oh, that's... Alright. How to resolve the drama when right now it's starting again. Almighty Lolly's watching in the dark. There's no fucking drama. I need shit like this so that I don't do something stupid. That's the truth, okay? There's no fucking beef. It's her life, her choices. But, again, the moment I listened to the stream and she talked about sex shit for 30 minutes, I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. This is not good. That's a huge red flag. And, you know, this is making it so I don't make a bad decision. That's it. That's why I'm doing this. Elaborate doing something stupid? Don't think... I explained this yesterday. I don't think there'd be any real consequences for collaborating. But at the same time, there could be consequences if any single one of you becomes, you know, a simp and blows a bunch of money on her. That's just going to make your life worse. You shouldn't even give the money to me. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's... I mean, it's not about me. I don't think there's anything really that bad that could happen to me, despite what, you know, some people have said to me. But, where the fuck is this sieve? Isn't this gonna lead to more drama, Unc? Well, if someone wants to make it drama, I'm sure they could take what I just said and make it. Some of you are drama horror cocksuckers, let's be real. But it's not meant in drama, even if I am being harsh. It's just... Again, I have a important choice to make, which is whether or not I contact her for a collab, because what I said earlier is she literally just said on stream in reference to people wanting her to collab with Mr. Medicare that she doesn't initiate that shit. So that leaves the onus on me whether or not I actually care to do that, which, you know, I mean, listening to this stuff, it's probably a bad idea. I mean, I stand nothing to gain from it. So... Probably gonna be funny. I know, that's the only reason why people want me to do it, is they just think it'd be funny. And it might be funny. I just feel bad. I feel bad, because I'm the dick now, because I'm listening to... And yes, it's a public clip, right? That I'm assuming she doesn't... I mean, it's a story she chose to tell online. But I'm judging her when she was only nice to me, right? Now, of course... I'm sure as soon, if she figures out about what I'm saying right now, it's just gonna be like, you know, he's just an incel, blah, 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 because of course. But, regardless, honestly, that's not even, like, that's not even, like, an unfair response, given what I'm saying, anyway. but regardless, I don't know. I don't like this, man. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not gonna hold in my true emotions. I am repulsed by this story that I'm hearing. You know? I mean, this is supposed to be the based woman, the anti-DEI, anti-woke, and she's talking about all this sex that she's had with dudes, about basically dating a guy for his money, even though she didn't say that directly, but that's obviously why she was with this dude. And, like, I'm supposed to feel really bad. I mean, obviously, the dude cheating or wanting to... Well, I guess it's leading to her getting cheated on. We haven't gotten to that part of the story. But the point is, the guy wanting to do, like, an open relationship shit. Like, yeah, the guy's a scumbag, but I can't just think, oh, Kirsche, you didn't do nothing, girl, you know, slay queen. It's like, dude, I don't think I mean, even when there's sociopathic... I've been around sociopathic... people before, trust me. It's not that hidden. It's just normal fags are not nearly as fucking emotionally intelligent as they think they are. The schizo brain is great at seeing through sociopathy and psychopathy, you know? I'm gonna fucking die, I think. Holy fuck. It's not schizo brain, it's just basic social skills. Ninja, do you know who you're fucking talking to? No, normies are not that good at sniffing through sociopaths and psychopaths. They're just not. I will sniff it out early, and I'm not gonna name anybody who I think is one, because I think I know at least one right now, but let me just say, people aren't suspecting the guy I'm thinking of being one, so that's a good example. My brother and we already did a poll yesterday. 60% said yes to her on Chudcast. Now, would those numbers shift now that we're watching this ex-boyfriend video? Probably, but I'm not doing it again. It doesn't matter. I didn't say that I would do anything. You know, I just wanted to know what the poll results are. That was it. I feel like that's probably a waste of money. I want you to break out of your shell. I imagine Kirsche feels bad. You're blacklisted from the anti-woke, wants to give you a chance. No, she doesn't, Poir. It's Poir, that is not what's happening. You haven't read the DMs. She does not, she probably doesn't even believe, she probably thinks I was exaggerating about the Synthler shit. She didn't know anything about me being blacklisted, and didn't really indicate that she believed that part either, for that matter. Like I said, I know I'm being harsh and mean. I really don't mean it, but I'm just repulsed by typical women behavior. That shouldn't surprise anybody.
What he wanted and exactly what the arrangement was, because lying would be too much effort to me since I would figure it out anyways, and he didn't want to deal with the arguments. I broke up with him, and we had no contact for 3 years. Zero contact, nothing. I moved across the country because I was worried about if this man decided to come to my house. We lived very close to each other, even without me having been living with him. After I moved out, I was afraid that if he came back and did the whole "I'm sorry, I love you" song and dance, I would be too weak to say no. So
okay, yeah. I mean, even if this is a Jewish guy, that is like, her pair bonding got permanently damaged, basically, by her own admittance here. Because if she would even consider taking him back, I don't want to talk about this female psychology stuff, but this is like legitimately like evidence that her pair bonding got permanently damaged after this relationship. So I'm not going to say the word that you're maybe thinking of to describe that, but I can't imagine her relationships after this. They're probably increasingly less fulfilling with each one, even if she probably wouldn't admit that. Sad.
I moved across the country. I got the fuck out of where I lived. Because if I'm across the country, he can't do anything, right? There's nothing that he can do. 3 years later, he messaged me on social media. And he said that his relationship has been hollow and empty, and I was the only thing in his life that made him feel like a real man. And that he didn't realize at the time how poorly he had been treating me, but he wanted me to give him another chance to make it up. I had never been in...
I mean, if he's a rich guy, can't you just get another bitch? I guess rich guys aren't what they used to be these days. I mean, I'm not rich, but I do have money. But I've also never been in this situation before, that's for sure. I just sound like a broken record, but Kirsche fans are Medicare/Kiwi Farm people, not VTuber fans per se. The typical VTuber fan would find this clip repulsive. I find that weird, though. Well, well, we already had this conversation earlier, but yeah, you guys say Medicare softened up a lot. It's just like the old Medicare would absolutely be roasting her ass. For sure, but I don't know. If he's actually dying, then I guess it would explain it. He said he liked being with her because of shared interests for the most part. I imagine that was the reason he wanted her back. Yeah, how dare you throw away the gamer GF? What a retard, but I guess he's a rich asshole dude. But Still, I mean, women taking no personal accountability for relationships is a major fucking... I mean, that's like, that triggers me, legitimately. It is infuriating. Truly fucking infuriating is what it is. So that's kind of why I was getting angry so early. Okay, we'll keep listening to this story.
In this situation where I had to forgive someone who was a cheater before, and I was like, well, it couldn't hurt.
Wait, what? This has happened to her before?
Wanted me to give him another chance to make it up. I had never been in this situation where I had to forgive someone who was a cheater before.
Okay, all right.
And I was like, well, it couldn't hurt to talk to him. Maybe he's being serious. A very costly lesson for him. I was like, maybe he's being serious. So I spoke with him for a little bit, and everything seemed normal. Everything seemed, get fucked, retard, fuck that. I met up with him, and when I met up with him, he was a whole different person. It was sad, and it was pathetic, and I felt nothing but pity. Like, this was a man that I had...
Okay, this is the ego tripping part of the story. Like, oh, you know, he was rich. He was fucking, you know, he was fucking multiple bitches, you know, and then, oh, Kirsche breaks up with him. He's nothing. His whole life collapsed. He became... I'm sorry, no, I can't take this seriously. I feel like there's no way that there's definitely some lying to this story, 100%. We got a Raider game. I can't keep playing it. Why are we watching this trash? I'm doing it to save myself from making a bad choice. That's what I'm doing. And no, I don't want any fucking drama. I don't want any goddamn drama, but I know you fags aren't going to be able to help yourselves. But see, this is the problem with being honest, is being honest makes you a bad person. I should just fucking be nice. But I'm sorry, I have to do this for myself. I'm not gonna keep playing Frieza every time. I'll play Broly. Yeah, we'll play Broly. Like, it was a bad idea to watch this video with the rest of us. I know, I should have watched it privately, but I'm sure I would have told you my thoughts anyway next stream. May not even be her story, but something her company came up with. Yeah, I mean, that's possible, but I don't think so. Synthetic defense mechanism, exactly. Now she knows you're a stalker? What do you think the word stalker means, retard? This is just a video clip on the internet. Bar Sexy made a video about Kirsche's Doomer Hour. A good watch if you want to know what Kirsche's like. Yeah, I refrained from watching that before. Let's finish this this story though.
Even though the relationship itself was, like, obviously fucking bad, this was a man that solidified a lot of things that I would look for in future partners. Like, in ways that I either wanted or didn't want to be treated. And he was basically... So, you know,
this is a... she just confirmed what I was saying about the pair bonding thing. Where, like, this guy obviously was very important to her. And permanently stained her brain, so to speak, for all future relationships. So, yeah, I don't think alpha widowing in this case, because I don't think, she hasn't said the guy, if this is the Jewish guy you guys were referring to, I don't know. She didn't say he was, like, tall or super handsome or anything. She just said he was rich, right?
A hollow shell of a person. He had no confidence left. He was anxiety-ridden. He wasn't sure of his words. He couldn't articulate in the way that he used to be able to. And this was...
What's a good build? I have Power Unleashed, plus I'll thank you just this once, Charming Pose Grapple. You don't have enough escape options.
This was only 3 years of being in that kind of a relationship that he thought that he wanted because she was easily controllable. And in this conversation with him...
I know I have no place to judge here, but I don't like that modern relationships you can quantify as only 3 years. I feel like 100 years ago, 3 years is a long time to be with somebody to decide whether or not, unless it's your like, I guess if you're like a high school sweetheart, because everyone got married earlier, they had kids earlier. So unless you knew them from literally high school, 3 years is a fairly long time. You know, I mean, you could argue that maybe that's what led to a lot of divorces as time passed. You know, at least past the 50s. But I wouldn't say 3 years is short by any stretch.
I also found out he said that he's still with her because he doesn't know if he wants to take the risk of exploding the life that he has built up to this point in order to have me back. And I asked him to explain what the fuck he means. And it turns out that the reason his parents hated me for the longest time was because he had lied to his parents. His parents thought that he was dating the other chick and that she was the one who was living with him, not me. It turns out he told his parents that I was a high-end escort that he had hired because his significant other wouldn't have sex with him. So whenever his mom...
What? Hold on, what? I mean, okay, assuming there's no lies in this story, doesn't that kind of lend credence to the gold digger joke we were talking about earlier? I mean, why else would he even think to say that lie, right? I don't know. All right, hold on, I gotta pee. I'll just throw the fucking BRB in case I'm gone more than 5 minutes, but I probably won't be going that long. Hold on. So I just grabbed more water. That was it.
Came over and I was there because I lived there. It made a lot of sense why she was very unhappy about it. And so obviously I cut contact again. And that was my one and only time I ever gave someone a second chance. I have had nearly every man I've dated.
Well, does that count as a second chance? Unless I'm missing something in the story, the dude just reached out to her. She talked to him for a while, and then as soon as she found out that the guy was still with the other girl, then she stopped talking. That's not really a second chance. I mean, you choose to like text someone for 5 minutes. Is that a second chance? Not really. I don't know.
Come back for a second chance. But I learned my...
Wait, hold on. What did she just say? That was kind of important.
And only time I ever gave someone a second chance. I have had nearly every man I've dated come back for a second chance.
This is what I'm saying. Look, I don't mean to be, again, this woman was only polite with me. Okay? So I don't want to be an asshole, but that sounds extremely suspicious to me. Extremely. How many men has she been with? That's the prime question. That I doubt she will. I don't know. Well, maybe there's a Kirsche head in here that knows if she's ever answered that, but I get the feeling that she probably hasn't said that.
But I learned my lesson with that one guy. You never listen. Never fucking do it. They don't change. Grab his dick and twist it. A lot of people don't understand what love is and mistake desire for what someone provides you or affection for another person for love. Yeah, it's actually insane. Dude is a clinical liar. What the fuck? He is a sociopath. Like, tried.
Yeah, it's so weird how she, over 3 years, somehow didn't find out he was a sociopath. That is strange. Maybe she was, too distracted by the piles of cash or something. I don't 3 years. I know we've been watching matches, so maybe I'm fucking up part of the story, but I'm pretty sure she said she was with him 3 fucking years and didn't know he was a sociopath. Somehow. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. I could probably sniff one out in a fucking day.
and true. Brazy Love, thank you for the 555 in before, but Kirsche, I'd just break up with them. It's very hard to do when you are in a position like that. But like I said, when he brought up the
What position is that? You're gonna elaborate? Because I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. Again, a rich Jewish guy, you know.
prospect of no, I want to date both of you at the same time, I was like, yeah, nah. Even though I've been browbeaten into this horrific mindset from you for years, I still have enough self-respect that I'm not going to be in some weird fucking polycule situation. High end with a Boston accent, you bucket bitch! So you dated again, or the meeting was the second chance? The meeting was the second chance given. I did not date him again. The meeting was his, you get to explain yourself one final time, and we'll see where
was it an in-person meeting? I thought she said she went across the country. When did she meet this guy in person again?
it goes. You had someone who you were friends with tried to be more blow a second chance at just being friends again. Try many times to get back in contact with you. Yeah. I mean, like, some people would be like, well, why didn't you just talk to him over text? When it's someone you know who's very good at manipulating and very good at lying, you need to be...
No, I'm tired of this. No, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this shit about how good men are at lying. No. You were smitten with him. I don't know if it was just the money. Maybe it was looks. Maybe he was the extremely rare, attractive Jewish person. A Timothy Chalamet type, or something. But, no, he was not good at lying. You were fucking, for one reason or another, you were absolutely infatuated with this person. And so you couldn't see through the feelings, the woman feelings. And then eventually he crossed the line because you weren't good enough for him. And that's it. That's all there is to the story. The other shit doesn't even matter, really. Now, something I noticed, just being objective here, she never took personal responsibility for dating a rich sociopath. Because, as we all know, relationships are a one-way street, and it's only one person's fault that anything bad ever happens. So, yeah, cool. I'm glad I listened to this. At least, I don't have to dwell on should I or shouldn't I contact her over a collab or whatever, because it's never gonna fucking work out. There's no way. There's no way I can be honest around someone like this. There's no way. It would be a lie to everyone if I said nothing. Please, Lord, no, this is the worst ending ever. Come on. Bro, I'm just being honest. Like, let's say hypothetically that the dude was a piece of shit. She willingly dated a piece of shit for 3 years. People don't just suddenly, oh, he was hiding it the whole time. I don't know. He was so nice at first. 3 years. You date him for the money. Okay? Just be real. It's funny, it got to the point where she emailed you. That's because you guys kept annoying her. That's why. I don't blame her for that part. Yeah, it took 3 years for his form to mature. He reverted to an egg when they started their relationship, and then he buried himself underground for 3 years. And she didn't like it when he matured. I'm just saying, guys. I know it kind of came across as mean, and I'm sure if she ever heard the words I just said, she certainly would never want to speak to me again. But, dude, I'm sorry, I ain't simping. I'm never fucking simping. Ever. And maybe if a woman in person, like, sucked my cock, then yes. Then I'll simp, okay? That's what it's gonna take. Uncle Synth ain't simping for no e-thoughts. VTuber e-thoughts. Yeah, dude, the fact that... the fact she said that the dude lied and said she's a high-end escort... But wait a minute, they dated for 3 years and the dude never introduced her to her parents? Isn't that kind of weird too? There's a lot of parts of this story that aren't quite... I didn't mishear, right? They were together 3 years. That's what she said. She said that the guy lied and said that he was dating the other chick. Isn't that kind of a long time to not introduce a girlfriend to your parents? I guarantee, even if I, you know, when I'm not going to talk about this, but I'm probably going to move out of here by the end of this year. Let's say I get a girl, you know, a pipe dream, truly, at this point. I get a girl. Do you think my mother is going to fucking... My mom will be hounding my ass, like, the first fucking week to meet this woman. And I probably wouldn't be able to keep her away. There's 3 years between them dating the section. No, she said something about them dating a long time. Do we need to go back in the video? I know we watched it over the... Hold on. We can... This is the wrong video. This is the can of whoop ass thing. Hold on. She said she dated the guy for a while. I could have sworn. Let's go back. We'll skim.
I feel like if you've been cheated on, there is no resolving that. It cannot be resolved. And I found this out because the sociopath that I dated, the sociopath... Hold
on. I'm bringing up it's not capturing the same window because the fucking OBS is retarded sometimes.
Dated when I finally was... during on the weekends was because lying to me was too much effort. He showed me his conversations with her where I didn't know he was cheating at this point, but he showed me his conversations with her where she had suspected him of cheating, which obviously he was because I was fucking living with him. And she just took everything he said at face value. Every single lie he told, she believed without question. And he told me that lying to me was too much effort, so that it would be much better if I knew exactly what he wanted and exactly what the arrangement was, because lying would be too much effort to me since I would figure it out anyways, and he didn't want to deal with the arguments. I broke up with him, and we had no contact for 3 years. Zero contact, nothing. I moved across the country because I was worried about if this man decided to come to my house, we lived very close to each other even without something, that his relationship has been hollow and empty, and I was the only thing in his life that made him feel like a real man, and that he didn't realize at the time how poorly he had been treating me, but he wanted me to give him another chance to make it up. I had never been in this situation where I had to forgive someone who was a cheater before, and I was like, well, it couldn't hurt to talk to him. Maybe he's being serious. A very costly lesson for him. I was like, maybe he's being serious. So I spoke with him for a little bit, and everything seemed normal. Everything seemed, get fucked, retard, fuck that. I met up with him, and when I met up with him, he was a whole different person. It was sad. He couldn't articulate in the way that he used to be able to. And this was only... And in this conversation with him, I also found out, he said that he's still with her because he doesn't know if he wants to take the risk of exploding the life that he has built up to this point in order to have me back. And I asked him to explain what the fuck he means. And it turns out that the reason his parents hated me for the longest time was because he had lied to his parents. His parents thought that he was dating the other chick and that she was the one who was living with him, not me. It turns out...
Oh, wait, okay. So it happened early in the relationship. The lie happened early, and the parents hated her for the rest of the relationship because the guy lied about who... What? I don't even understand that. Why the parents hate her for their son lying about who he was dating. Maybe she doesn't say how long she's with the guy. I'm confused. NT Dark Triad Chad's win again. No, he's rich. That was in the beginning of the story. She doesn't even describe the guy as handsome or tall or anything, which I don't know. Maybe it's if his people were saying the guy's Jewish, so it's probably not handsome or tall, but he was rich. Look, we'll go back to the beginning for those of you who are just joining us. I'll still keep it 1.5 times speed.
I feel like if you've been cheated on, there is no resolving that. It cannot be resolved. And I found this out because the sociopath that I dated, when I finally was able to pull myself out of brain rot and stop being with someone who was controlling and mentally abusive.
I found it.
I was able to get out when he was like, I want to have you as my real girlfriend during the week that I live with and that I have interests in common with and I can have actual conversations with because you have your own thoughts and opinions on things and you're interesting to talk to and also have sex with. But on the weekends, I want to date this other girl because she is more proper to take around my friends and family. He was a very, very rich trust fund kid who his father was known as the billionaire on Wall Street. the billion dollar man, I think it was specifically, and he, being a trust fund kid, also had.
Yeah, so there you go. Why was she dating him? The world may never know. He was a manipulative sociopath, and it's not her fault that she dated a super rich guy. Definitely not. No. Just like that, you've started drama. The drama whores in her chat will absolutely deliver the message to her, LMAO. Yeah, probably. Nothing secret on the internet. Am I not allowed to react and give a take to a clip? I already explained why I was watching it while you were too busy shoving your fuck. I explained I'm debating whether or not I wanted to collab with her, and then people suggest me to watch the fucking clip. Give a relationship. Paulie McCoy, I know you're being sarcastic. You want me to give someone relationship advice? Are you out of your fucking mind? All I can tell you, no, I can't do anything. The only thing I can do is say, take personal responsibility. No, I'm gonna get into this. Whatever. Let's read the super chats that I've been neglecting for over an hour. Corlo, thanks $2. Play, I feel like saying N tonight. No. In 1983, it's probably a fucking stream. That sounds like it's from a movie or something. I can't play movie clips. I fucking still have the copyright strike on my channel. I promise next stream is the Ninja Gaiden Black stream, though. I will say that. That's a promise.
Nintendo had the lion's share
Spyro
of mascot
3,
games.
the worst
there
one.
There were a few family-friendly titles that intruded on Nintendo.
Please, no more Kirsche. Listen, I know people are going to take that fucking clip shit out of context, and I know it seems like I meant it in a mean way, but it was just a visceral, emotional reaction. I'm sorry that I'm just repulsed by female nature, and, you know, it's just a reminder that there's no such thing really as a based woman, in my definition of based, anyway. Because I feel like everything she said is just like, literally doesn't matter what political side of the spectrum you're on, that's just female behavior is what that was. And I'm not justifying anything the rich asshole did. I'm sure he's a rich asshole, but if you can't take any responsibility for your actions, then, I mean, it's obvious that she's... You don't even have to say she's half responsible for a relationship. At least a third. At least a fucking third. But there's no accountability in that story. What happened with the Kirsche thing? You're just gonna have to go back, Solar. The point is, I listened to her story about some guy who cheated on her, basically. Or wanted an open relationship. So, it was a rich guy. Literally filthy fucking rich Nepo baby kid that she dated. And then, like, acted the victim. Is basically what the story was. It's like... How am I supposed to feel bad for you? I mean, if we're just looking at this objectively, we're taking a step back. Like, assuming you're not some fucking simp faggot, like, and you can actually look at things objectively to a degree, how am I supposed to, you know, be sympathetic? SS, thanks $2. We already had the poll, you know what to do. I know. Listen, I am having a moral dilemma at the moment, because I know this is the internet. It doesn't matter that the stream will be privated. The info is probably going to get to her. That was a fucking dickhead, you know, even though she was polite with me. And you know what? There's no way that to explain my side of things in a way that, you know, the average person would understand, you know. It's just like, this... You know, I don't know. I'm not even saying that I didn't. I was an asshole. I was an asshole. I will say that. But at the same time, I know every one of you here agrees with what I was saying. Pretty much every one of you agrees with what I was saying. It's just the moral dilemma is just that, like, she hasn't done anything to deserve me being mean to her. Basically, you know what I mean? That's a personal issue that I have. 3 people probably recording right now. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously there's people recording every stream I do, but what I mean is, that part doesn't matter. What matters is if someone communicates to her specifically what I said, because you're drama whore cocksuckers, that I could see. And look, you know, I said it on the online, so I can only expect that to happen. I'm searching for cubes. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, listen, again, this is not what a good person would do. I don't care. This is my moral explanation. I would do that if it was anybody, okay? If anyone had told me that story that I just watched with Kirsche, I would say the exact same shit. Unless they were like my best friend or something. No, this is just some online VTuber that I talked to one time for an hour. You know, she's not my friend, right? If it was a close friend, I'd be nice. But there's no way in hell. There's no way. Like, I'm not going to just sit there and just pretend that, like, I'm okay with that type of shit. I'm not. Flower, thanks to 3 months membership. She follows multiple blacked accounts on her ex. Is that true? It sounds like a rumor. I feel like people would already be roasting her about that if that was true. There's no way that just sounds like bullshit, I'll be honest. Because people would never let her hear the end of that. Just some guy, thanks to the $1. Fake sell, fake fan, schizoid, thanks to the $5. I'm already seething with incel rage. This is where I was reacting to the video, obviously. Axton 0, thanks $2. So no collab in the works, and I already explained this before, but I'm assuming you weren't in last stream. There was never a planned collab. In the DMs, she was very nice to me, which is why I feel bad about everything I just said when I reacted to the video. I left it open. I left the door open. I'm like, look, I'm available if you want to, like, do a duo stream. Because she didn't want to do Chudcast until our audience is familiar with this game and the fucking memory issue. Why have I not ever solved it? Why have I not ever solved it? Far as sexy, thanks to £2. When will you do the 150k DMC stream sent? That's not what I said. I said Ninja Guy in Black. If chat is good, which chat is never good, if Kirsche finds out about what I said, there ain't gonna be a DMC stream this year. How about that? Okay? So, will you self-police now? Will you self-police? Probably not. Oh, fuck. Hold on. I may have spoken too soon. I may have spoken too soon. Uh-oh. This is on stream. Here we go. I fucked it up. This DM. This DM. I wish I had some drinks. Okay. I can never just stop running my fucking mouth. Alright, let's see. Let's see what it is. I'm not gonna show... am I gonna show it? No, I'm not gonna show it. That was fucking fast. Is she watching my stream? Maybe someone DM'd her. One of you guys who's lurking DM'd her. I still want to read it. See, you know what? If she says I'm a bad person, fuck it. I accept it. It's alright. Fuck. I don't have Discord alerts, so who knows how old this message is. Probably an hour ago. Who knows? Who snitched? I don't know. We'll never know. I'd like to ban him. I'd like to ban whoever snitched, but it's too late. Sent, the only way to win is to not engage. I can't just not engage. He did nothing wrong, and that's not true, dude. I did do something wrong. I should have not watched that on stream. That's what I did wrong. Yeah, we need to talk. Yeah, here we go. Here we fucking go. I fucked up. Yeah, I did bring it on myself. Listen. Unlike the story we watched, I take complete responsibility for my actions this stream. I'll say that. It was a conscious choice that I made to watch that video on stream. So, I'm just saying that was a fuck up. She's here? What, is she in chat? So, should I read this or not? Should I read this on stream or not? Just tell me now. Okay, we might need to time out people in chat so I can actually see her talk. Put the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna put chat in slow mode first of all. That's a good idea. Simping already? No, because I did do something that was mean, as I acknowledged. I shouldn't have watched that on stream. I did say mean things. That's just what it is. Okay, I'm not gonna apologize for my opinions, but I can apologize for the mean tone, I suppose. She won't respond. Well, apparently people were saying she was in chat at some point. She's not in chat? Kane's game said she was in chat. Maybe she's not here right now. Slurking, not talking. Listen, she DM'd me during the stream. So, listen, I got to see what this is. Maybe I'm not going to read it out loud, the private message. There's no point. But I have to at least see what she said. I can't sit on this for the next 3 hours. That's just not going to happen. Because you guys know I'm going to stream until 3 a.m. So, just don't make it any worse. Dude, it's a public video. We can't speak on a public video. That's not my point. You know that's not my point. My point is, she was here a second ago. Yeah, I know. I gotta rip the band-aid off. I'm going in. Yeah, that's about what I expected. That's about what I expected. She said exactly what you think she said. I do not have to read it. I do not have to read it. You know exactly what she said. And I'm not even going to say that she's wrong. I won't even say that she's wrong. But, yeah. Listen, it was never going to work. It was never going to work. But it is, this is my fault. I'll say it. It was my fault. I can be the bigger man here. I don't have to say anything. Legitimately, whatever you think in your head, the general tone of it, you're correct. There's too much to explain. I'm literally streaming right now. I'll just tell you later. Jesus. All right, yeah, bye.